Hey everybody, Jeff Reinhart here, LMP and Lancaster Online, and welcome into the Week 6 edition of the Huddle LMP Football Podcast, brought to you by Auto House of Lancaster. I'm a little raspy this week with the voice. I'll do my best. We're halfway home, and I guess the weather's changing. We've had a lot of rain and a lot of cooler temperatures in the area here lately, so my body is reacting. I'll do my best. I will plow through. Okay, good week 6 coming up with a really big game on deck. Let me give you my week 5 recap. 5 things that I learned last weekend. First up, Cocalico beat LS on Friday night. Got to cover that in Denver. Wow. LS still has the top defense in the league, but they were playing great defensively. Cocalico, big night on the ground, 300 plus. Aaron Longenecker had a big night, 155. He had a 75-yard touchdown sprint, had a big pick late. Cocalico wins its 4th straight. They hand LS its first loss. That game kind of lived up to the hype. I thought Cocalico played really well. And they're smoking right now. Okay, number 2, why am missing? 40 wins in a row in the regular season now for the Spartans. They beat Elko on Saturday afternoon on a slick track at YO. A lot of rain, grass field. I heard they did not warm up on the field. They warmed up kind of on the sideline, back field area. They didn't want to make the field any worse, so... Nonetheless, slick field, but YO wins 28-14. Drew Forey, 3 touchdown runs, 2 over 50 yards. YO holds Jake Williams to 133 yards and 2 touchdowns. His lowest output of the year, 133 and 2. But the Spartans win. They go to 5-0. And Elko, its first loss. 40 straight regular season dubs for YO. Impressive. Ephrata, we'll be talking about them a lot here in the next couple of minutes. Tip of the cap, Sam McCracken becomes Ephrata's all-time leading passer. They put up, 48 points and 1 big to improve to 5-0, and they get another 5-0 this week at Garden Spot, and that's going to be a lot of fun. McCracken, number 1 passer in Ephrata history. 2 LL receivers had 4 touchdown catches last week. Landon Kennel for Township, 1 week after he had 5 touchdown catches, he gets 4 against Hempfield in the trophy game. Township wins again, and they're scorching at 5-0. Aaron Enterline had 4 touchdown catches for Mannheim Central in their win over Warwick. Barons are back on track here. Last 2 weeks, they won by an aggregate 77-7. Look out. And a fun Barons note coming up in a couple of minutes. Lastly, tip of the cap, Penn Manor. 2 weeks ago, they finally scored. Had a couple touchdowns against Cedar Crest. They get their first win last week at Reading, wrapping up a 3-game road trip with an OT, 28-27, gutted out at the end. Win over the Red Knights. So Penn Manor gets in the W column to get a little mo. Okay, that was week 5. Good stuff last week. A lot of good stuff. Setting up week 6. Interesting week here. Second half starts. These section races are going to get mighty interesting here down the stretch. I know Section 3's got some monster matchups coming here in the next couple weeks. District rankings. I've been following them here this week. A lot of LL teams inside the bubble. 20 would get in if the season ended today, which it doesn't. But 20 teams, more than half the league, is in line to make districts. So could be a busy late fall around here. Okay, let's go through week 6. 19 games, 2 on Saturday, 17 on Friday night. Hopefully the weather cooperates. Knock on wood. And everything gets played on time, and we have a nice clean week 6. Okay, here we go. Cedar Crest at Reading. Crest gets its first loss last week against Wilson. Crest had a ton of chances, 3 trips inside the red zone. Wilson gets a late pick in the end zone to fend off the Falcons. Their first loss, yes, but still some good mo here, and they see the playoffs ahead. They got to take care of business. Reading, as mentioned, lost in OT to Penn Manor. Alexis Alvarado has been really good. 200-yard rushing night last week and a couple of touchdowns. So Crest must stop him. Still like their defense. I think they get the snap back. Cedar Crest over Reading. Hempfield at Penn Manor trophy game. First of 2 trophy games this week. Black Knights and Comets will play in the Battle of 462 trophy game. The schools are separated by Route 462 there, kind of snakes through Millersville and Landisville and Mountville and that whole area of the county. Hempfield's dominated the trophy series 3-0 by a big score, like 101-14. So Hempfield's dominated here. Hempfield looking to pick up the pieces after Township last week. Streaks put a big number up on their rivals. Penn Manor feeling better about things after a win. Still like Hempfield here. Like their passing game a little bit. Margison and Gates have been really good up top. And I think Hempfield's kind of like a bubble team right now in 6A. And they need wins. They know it. And they want to keep the trophy. And I think they do. I'll go Hempfield over Penn Manor. Manheim Township at McCaskey. Said it last week. I'll say it again. McCaskey's better than their record. They're 1-4. But they've been in games. They have a win. And they have a lot of crooked offensive numbers. They're better than 1-4. Manheim Township is kind of just better than everybody right now. They're scary good. 5-0. Crooked numbers all over the place on the stat sheet. Number 1 in District 3, 6A power ratings. Ranked in the state, they're like number 6. Kennel has 15 touchdown catches. Johnson has 22 touchdown passes and no interceptions. Township has pretty much scored every time it has had the ball so far this season. That's pretty awesome. I think they keep on keeping on here. Township over McCaskey. Gursky Lynn trophy game. Governor Mifflin at Wilson. Backyard rivals forever and ever. 66th meeting between these two. All time. For the trophy series, Wilson leads 8-3. Won it last year. Mifflin had won it the 2 previous years. Wilson's back to kind of doing Wilson things. Crest really challenged them last week. Wilson rises to the occasion defensively. They've been really good through the air. Tommy Hunsicker's over 1,000 passing yards. Mifflin's been good on the ground. They're coming off a win. Grady Garner's been good. Reese Hull's been good. Brandon Jones has been good. They're going to test Wilson's D, and Wilson's D has been kind of middle of the packish in Section 1, but their offense has carried them. Could be a slugfest here, and it's always a good time with that trophy in the stadium. I'll go Bulldogs. I think they retain it at home. Wilson over Mifflin. Conestoga Valley. Buckskins are playing really well. At Lebanon, Cedars losing skid is at 27. Struggled with Exeter last week, 51-zip. Lebanon's going through a quarterback change. Keep an eye on the Cedars. CV, oh my, 4-1. Their only loss is by a point to Garden Spot, which is 5-0. Jaden Johnson's been great. Liam Cheek, the quarterback, has been efficient. Their defense has been really good. Shut out Salanka last week. They have 2 shutout wins. They've only given up 55 points. CV's been tough. Really tough. And I was thumbing through some stuff this week. Bucks haven't been to districts since 2010. 13 years since CV's been in the postseason. They win this one. They get to 5 wins. Looking at the finish line ahead of them in a couple of weeks. They get a great chance here. They just got to take care of business. I think they do here. Bucks over Cedars. Exeter at Warwick. Warwick's still a bit of a head scratcher here. The great week 1 win against Cocalico, and now they've dropped 4 straight. Lost a tough one to Cedar Crest in OT. Got shut out last week by Manheim Central. Warwick is kind of back at the drawing board, and now they got to deal with Exeter, which is what? They've won 17 regular season games in a row, one of the best defenses in the league, put up 51 points last week against Lebanon. I wrote this week. I thought Exeter, now remember, I haven't covered Exeter full-time until last year. I thought they'd come back a little bit to the pack after losing all of those terrific players off last year's team, but Exeter has not skipped a beat. They've been fantastic, putting up points, shutting people out, forcing turnovers. They've been fantastic. So I'll go Eagles here to stay with the lead pack in Section 2 as they try and defend their title. Exeter over Warwick. Mannheim Central at Muhlenberg. 2 milestones off the top. Mannheim Central has 598 program victories. So if the Barons win here, they'll get to 599, which is a cool number. Next week, Central has Lebanon at home. So Barron's got a great shot here in the next 2 weeks to get to 600 career program victories, which is a pretty sweet number. Other milestone moment. I jumped the gun on some stats last week, but I have the official stats now. Thank you, Mannheim Central. Bryson Armold needs 12 yards for 3,000 in his career. He's at 2,988. So 12 yards for Mr. Armold to reach 3,000 in his career. Pretty good shot he does it here. I think he's got 12 yards in him. Barons over Mules. E-Town at Daniel Boone. Boy, both these teams just need a shot of adrenaline here. Boone's got to win, but their 3 losses have been kind of herky-jerky, and they're giving up a lot of yards. They're second from the bottom in the league in team defense. E-Town's been shut out 3 times, and they're just searching. Both teams are scratching their head. Both teams need a win. Somebody's going to get one, which is always a good thing. I'll go home team. I'll go Daniel Boone over E-Town. Friday night in Birdsboro. Game of the week. Circle it. Effort of 5-0 at Garden Spot. 5-0. We were at Effort last week to chat with those kids. They're super excited. We were at Garden Spot this week to talk to a couple of their kids. They're super excited. Both teams 2-0 in the section, tied with Twin Valley. Winner here stays atop Section 3. And in the next couple of weeks here in Section 3, Twin Valley gets Garden Spot next week, and I think they get Effort of the week after. So a lot moving and shaking in Section 3, starting with this one on Friday. This one should be great. Should be great. I have Garden Spot circled. Not that Effort can't win, but Garden Spot I picked back in August to win Section 3. So I'm not going to jump ship now. I'm going to stick with my pick, and I'm going to go Garden Spot over Ephrata. I will see you Friday night in New Holland for that one. Should be fun. Twin Valley at Solanco. Raiders go to Quarryville to get the reigning Section 3 champs. Solanco coming off a shutout loss against CV. I said it last week. I'll say it again. I think Solanco kind of in retool mode a little bit here, but when I look at their roster, I see like junior, sophomore, junior. They're going to be heard from in the near future. Twin Valley's a different animal. Number 1 in the league in total offense, number 1 in the league in rushing yards. They've been fantastic, and they're not going to get caught looking ahead here with Spot and Ephrata coming up next. Twin Valley over Solanco. Okay, Berks Catholic at Conrad Weiser. Both teams coming off wins. Weiser really needed it last week. They were 0 for the first time in like a century. Scouts win. They beat Octorara 21-6. Berks Catholic beat Donegal by 3 on the road with a backup quarterback taking snaps. How about that? So both teams with a little positive mo here, and that's always a good thing. I'm going to go Berks Catholic on the road. I always have one gut hunch pick of the week. This would be the one. Saints over Scouts. Cocalico at Elko. Fun matchup here. Both teams 4-1. Both teams run the heck out of the ball. Triple option against Veer. Jake Williams, 1,200 rushing yards and 18 touchdowns for Elko. Leads the league in both of those categories. He's been fabulous, and Cocalico has found it. 4 wins in a row. Good win against LS last week. Their rushing attack has been, wow, lights out. Over-under on pass attempts in this game, I'm going to set it at 5. This game might take an hour and 15 minutes. I'm going to ride the Eagles another week. They've been fantastic. Fun game. Love this matchup. I'll go Cocalico over Elko. Octorara at LS. Braves have kind of hit the meat of their schedule here. Oh my, they've been up against it with opponents here lately. They've lost 3 straight after a 2-0 start. LS, I'm thinking they're going to be kind of mad coming off the Cocalico game. First time their defense has kind of been touched up for some stuff this season, and they're looking to get it back here in a hurry at home. I'll go Pioneers over Braves. Fun, sneaky matchup of the week. Kutztown at Anvil Cleona. Kutztown, huge win last week. Down 21 in the second half. They come back and beat Hamburg 35-34. Wow. Kutztown's first win. Thank you, Mike Drago. Kutztown's first win against a Berks County opponent since 2016, 7 years and 32 games since Kutztown had beaten somebody from their own county. Impressive. Anvil Cleona, boy, they found it. And they're number 1 in the District 3 rankings now. A couple wins in a row. Found their rushing attack. Hale Harder had 192 yards and a couple of touchdowns last week. Dutchman playing well on both sides of the ball. I'll take them here at home. I think Kutztown's going to make them earn it. There's going to be 120 running plays in this game. This game might also take an hour. Dutchman over Cougars. Columbia at Pequay Valley. Two teams looking for it, searching, head scratching. Both have a win. They're both 1-4, but Columbia is last in the league in total defense, and Pequay Valley's offense is kind of near the bottom of the league in those stats. Somebody's getting some mo here. Somebody's getting a dub here. I had to look at this for like 10 minutes. I'm going to go Columbia. I like all their athletes, and Poindexter and Sims and Stewart and this McClare kid's doing some pretty good things at quarterback. Stud Campbell has 70 tackles in 5 weeks for Columbia. Like him a lot. So I'll go Tide here. Columbia over Pequay Valley. Lancaster Catholic at Hamburg. A year ago, this was the game of the week. They were both undefeated. It was for first place in Section 5. Catholic won an amazing game late, got a field goal in the closing minutes, and held off Hamburg and went on to go 10-0. Catholic's just playing really good here. Undefeated. Elijah Cunningham's been fantastic running the ball. We've talked a lot about Jake Williams. But Elijah Cunningham's over 800 yards, and he's been really good. Hamburg, Tyler Shuey leads the league in passing yards, over 1,400. And they're probably stinging a little bit after that loss to Kutztown last week when they had a 21-point lead and could not slam the door. So I'm going to go Catholic here on the road. Tricky trip. Got to deal with some athletes there and Hamburg's passing attack, for 2 hours. But I just love the way the Crusaders are going. So I'm going to go Lancaster Catholic over Hamburg. Last Friday night game, Northern Lebanon at Schuylkill Valley. Panthers have found it. Jaffray is out, I know, with the hand injury, but hasn't slowed them down at all. Narwaki in the passing attack has been great. Spots catching the ball and Gerner catching the ball. And Schuylkill Valley's putting up all kinds of crooked numbers here the last 2-3 weeks. Vikings looking to snap back after falling to Lancaster Catholic last week. Tough road trip to Leesport. Panthers are playing great. Schuylkill Valley over Northern Lebanon. 2 Saturday games. Set your alarm clocks, Fleetwood guys. Tigers at Kennard Dale. 77-mile bus trip. And the game starts at 10 a.m. Oh, my. I have Kennard Dale circled. They're 2-3. They got trucked by Wyomissing, and they got axed by LS for 2 of their losses. But they've come back with a couple of wins. They beat West York last week. Tigers looking to avoid their 4th straight loss after a 2-0 start. Really love what Zion Brickle's doing. That kid's 600-plus rushing yards. He's been great. Not so sure about that 4 or 5 a.m. wake-up call to drive 70 miles to Fawn Grove. So I'm going to go Rams here. I'll take them at home. Home team, Saturday morning at 10, Kennard Dale over Fleetwood. Lastly, Saturday afternoon, Wyomissing is home again. They'll take on Donegal. Donegal, close call. I saw them the week before. LS really took it to them. Bounced back and almost beat Berks Catholic last week. 3-point game. And now they got to go to YO and get the Spartans, and I could rattle off YO stats for a half an hour, but I won't do that. YO needs a win here for 41 straight in the regular season, and I think they'll get it. Spartans over Indians. Week 6 winners, Cedar Crest, Hemfield, Township, Wilson, CV, Exeter, Central, Boone, Garden Spot, see you in New Holland, Twin Valley, Berks Catholic, Cocalico, LS, Anvil, Columbia, Catholic, Schuylkill Valley, Kennardale, and Wyomissing. And that's your week 6 slate, 19 games, 17 Friday night, 2 on Saturday, 10 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. Enjoy those. Friday night, I will see you in New Holland for the game of the week. Ephrata 5-0 at Garden Spot 5-0. Winner stays in first place in Section 3. Okay, I got to go. Thanks for tuning in. Much obliged. Keep it on Lancaster Online for all your LL League football stuff, the daily 3 facts posts and the videos, and the previews and facts and stats and standings and schedules, all that good stuff. Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate you tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.